Welcome everyone to Coin New Yen Review channel. Before we dive into today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so more people can discover us. Enjoy the show. The entire story has been completed. Our Yen wishes all the Yanzu and Yaifei fans happiness. The main text begins below. After I lost my sight, my girlfriend of 3 years heartlessly abandoned me. Not long after, she got together with Wang Chuan, the son of Jiangcheng's richest family. They quickly got married. Just when I thought life couldn't go on, Wang's parents suddenly came to find me. They claimed I was their biological son. I was shocked and overjoyed. I followed them back home. At that moment, Liu Ryan, my betrothed since childhood, also arrived. She arranged for me the grandest wedding in all of Jiangcheng. After we got married, she treated me exceptionally well. Even my blind eyes were cared for with great attention. But the day my eyes could see again, I overheard her talking with a friend. If it wasn't for helping Zichuan, bro would have taken care of all the trouble. Who'd want to marry a blind man? If I'd known, I'd end up marrying him anyway. Back then, we shouldn't have tampered with his eyes. Liu Ryan's voice was clear and textured. Every word reached my ears. I froze on the spot. My mind went blank. The joy of finally seeing again vanished completely. Tears fell uncontrollably. The conversation in the room continued. Is it worth it, Ryan? Sacrificing your own marriage for Wang Chuan? That was Zhou Zhu's voice. Ever since I lost my sight, I became especially sensitive to sounds. I could tell who was speaking just by listening. When Wang Chuan was mentioned, her voice suddenly softened, carrying an indescribable affection. As long as brother Zichuan is happy, anything is worth it. Zhou Zhu didn't give up. She continued, but if Wang Chendong finds out that you and the Wang family conspired to harm him, how much pain will he be in? He's the real young master of the Wang family, yet his own family schemed to bring him to this state. Hearing this, my heart sank to the bottom. I never imagined the Wang family was involved in blinding my eyes. So from beginning to end, I was the only one kept in the dark. Liu Ryan took a deep breath. Her tone of voice showed no trace of regret. I didn't want this either. If anyone's to blame, it's him. Who told him to stand in brother Zichuan's way? Zhou Zhu patiently tried to persuade her. I really don't get what's so great about Wang Chuan. How did he charm everyone like this? We 3 sisters used to be so close. Now he's torn us apart. Ryan, listen to me. Wang Chendong is a good person. You've been married for 5 years. There must be some feelings there. Don't stay so stubborn, or one day you'll regret it. Haven't you thought about the day the truth comes out? What will you and he do then? But Liu Ryan spoke with absolute certainty. He won't find out. Even if that day comes, it'll take care of him for life. It'll give him my entire life to make up for it. That should be enough. Listening to the conversation, my heart was already aching so much I couldn't breathe. So it wasn't anyone else who blinded me. It was my dearest family and my closest wife. The pain of glass shards piercing my eyes felt like it happened just yesterday. For 5 whole years, my days were never touched by light. Yet my family pretended to be kind, taking me to see famous doctors everywhere. Using my gratitude, they made me sign a confession for Wang Chuan. My wife acted like nothing was wrong, caring for me day in and day out, calmly accepting my thanks. The happiness I once took pride in was a lie from the start. They were my biological parents, yet the one they cherished most was Wang Chuan. She was my wife, but her heart and love were all for Wang Chuan. She even sacrificed herself for him. These 5 years, I always saw my parents and Liu Ryan as the light in my life. But without them, my life wouldn't have fallen into darkness. It was also absurd. I tried hard to suppress the pain and anger in my heart. I wanted to turn and walk away, but carelessly bumped into a cabinet by the door. The noise startled the 2 in the study. Liu Ryan quickly stood up. The door was open from inside. I couldn't hide in time, so I pretended I'd just arrived. Liu Ryan frowned slightly. Her tone was gentle. Xiaodong, why are you here? When did you get here? Why didn't you let me know? I could only act like nothing was wrong. pretending I was still blind. My voice was as calm as before. Ryan, I woke up and you weren't there. I guessed you might be in the study, so I felt my way over. I was about to call you but tripped on something. She relaxed and took my hand. Her tone was gentle. It's my fault. This cabinet wasn't placed properly. You'll have someone move it aside. I nodded and said okay, but she noticed my eyes were slightly red. She gently brushed my eye corner. Xiaodong, why are your eyes so red? Didn't you sleep well? I made up an excuse. Yeah, I had a nightmare during my nap. Didn't sleep well. She couldn't help but laugh. She gently ruffled my hair. Still such a child, not a 3-year-old kid anymore. And you're still scared by nightmares. What did you dream about? Tell me what happened. I forced a faint smile. Testing her, I said, I dreamed about that night 5 years ago when I was kidnapped. Those people stabbed a broken glass bottle into my eyes. Blood and tears ran down my face. My eyes hurt so much. Ryan, do you think at night those people ever feel a bit of regret for what they did to me? I could clearly feel Liu Ryan's body stiffen beside me. Her breathing became quick and shallow. A small sense of satisfaction rose in my heart. Liu Ryan, do you feel pain too? At night, do you ever think of the me you hurt? After a while, she gently patted my back, comforting me. All right, husband, don't think about those upsetting things. The people who hurt you have gotten what they deserve. Let the past stay in the past. Letting the past go sounds so easy. Of course, a knife doesn't hurt when it's not stabbing you. I sneered in my heart, but kept it off my face. I put on a sad expression, my voice carrying a hint of a sob. But Ryan, for 5 years I've lived in darkness every day. That fear and despair, I can't forget it. Sometimes I wonder, if my eyes hadn't gone blind, what would our life be like? Liu Ryan's body grew even stiffer, as if she didn't know how to comfort me. At that moment, Zhou Zhu suddenly came out of the room. She glared at Liu Ryan, then greeted me. Brother Dong, don't be too sad. With today's advanced technology, maybe your eyes can still be healed. Let Ryan take you to the hospital more often. I could hear the sincerity in her words. I politely apologized to her. Liu Ryan chimed into yes. Husband, don't be sad. Don't worry, I'm here for you. Seeing Liu Ryan act so nonchalant, I wanted to rip off her fake mask and tell her it's exactly because of you that I can't feel at ease. But I knew in my heart I couldn't do that yet. I forced a weak smile as a response to her. Late at night, when Liu Ryan beside me was breathing steadily and evenly, I slowly opened my eyes. In the darkness, I stared at the ceiling. My mind drifted back to 5 years ago. Back then, I had just graduated from college. I had some great design work in hand. I was so close to landing the job I wanted, but some drunk thugs dragged me into an alley and blinded me with a glass bottle, making me miss the bright future that was mine. My girlfriend of 3 years despised me for being blind. She didn't even give me a chance to explain. Turned around and quickly married Wang Chuan, the son of Jiangcheng's richest family. During that time, I locked myself away, too scared to go outside for days, until the Wang family parents came to me. They said through a police DNA test, they found out I was their biological son. They had reports to prove it, but by then I could see nothing. They cried as they held me in their arms, heartbroken, touching my face, saying it didn't matter. With them there, they'd spend any amount to cure my eyes. Having never felt parental love, I fell right into their trap of affection. But I didn't think carefully, since I'd always been in Jiangcheng with the Wang family's wealth. Why did it take them 20 years to find me? The first 3 months back at the Wang house, they treated me well. Not only did I have my own room, I had endless clean clothes to wear, and they often took me to see doctors. But no matter how hard I tried after each treatment, opening my eyes was useless. Eventually, I accepted the reality. That day, the Wang parents suddenly brought a tearful Wang Chuan to beg me. They said Wang Chuan had made a mistake outside, and the other party refused to settle. They insisted he sign a confession. They asked if I could. Xiaodong, I know this isn't fair to you, but Zichuan has a bright future ahead. He can't go to jail so young. The job opportunity he wants is coming soon. It can't be ruined now. But you're different. You don't need to work anyway. After you get out, mom and dad will take care of you forever. Will you do it?" Listening to their earnest words, I pushed down the pain in my heart, thinking of how they'd taken me to doctors everywhere. I nodded like I was possessed. Seeing me agree. They were so happy they almost cried, thanking me over and over, saying they loved me since they brought me home. I didn't know how to repay their kindness. Now that they were asking me, I might as well fulfill their wish. Anyway, I was just a useless person now, living a life I could see the end of. 6 months later, I got out of prison. Half a year passed quickly, but it still left me disconnected from society. So after returning to the Wong house, I started avoiding contact with the outside world, growing quieter and quieter, until Liu Ryan, my childhood fiancée, came to see. She said outright she didn't mind my past, that shed love and care for me her whole life. She gave me the liveliest wedding in all of Zhongshan. After marriage, she loved me deeply, taking meticulous care of my blind eyes, never mentioning anything that'd upset me, like blindness or prison. Even the villa at home was specially fitted with tactile paving for me, to make it easier for me to move around. Every birthday and anniversary, the gifts I deserved were never missing. The things a man should have done. Because of my physical limitations, Liu Ryan took on all by herself. I always thought heaven was looking out for me, sending Liu Ryan to save me from this life I couldn't live anymore. What a pity. She was indeed a knight, but I wasn't the prince she meant to protect. The happiness I thought I had was just her sacrifice for Wang Chuan. Thinking of this, tears silently fell. I didn't sleep all night. The next morning, Liu Ryan got up early as usual, getting ready to go to the company. Before leaving, she came to the bedside, gently kissed the corner of my mouth. Her voice was soft. "Xiaodong, I'm off to work. Rest well at home. Call me if anything comes up." I pretended I hadn't woken up, dodging her kiss, mumbling a vague response, until I heard the door close. I opened my eyes and went straight to her study. I carefully searched, hoping to find something useful there, but I turned the entire bookshelf and drawers upside down and found nothing. Just as I was about to leave, I suddenly noticed in the corner a locked safe. I crouched down to try the combination, then suddenly remembered long ago, Liu Ryan once told me that anything he set a password for used my birthday. I could check on him anytime I wanted. Of course, a blind man wouldn't go checking on him, but back then, I was touched by his thoughtfulness. Now I realize it was clearly Wang Chuan's birthday, and one just happened to be born on the same day. The next second, I easily opened the safe. As expected, it was full of things related to Wang Chuan. I picked up the topmost photo. Every picture showed Wang Chuan's smiling face, from his innocent childhood look to his current refined and handsome appearance, confident and poised. Every moment of his growth was carefully preserved by Liu Ryan. Even at his wedding, they had taken photos together, a thick stack, each photo silently proclaiming his love for Wang Chuan. I flipped further down. There were some letters, love letters exchanged between Liu Ryan and Wang Chuan during their college days. The paper was well preserved. I suppressed the pain in my heart and kept flipping. But suddenly, among Wang Chuan's award-winning works, I saw many of my designs. Looking at those familiar blueprints, my hands couldn't stop trembling. Even after 5 years, I could recognize them at a glance. These were my creations, the results of my painstaking effort and blood during college. But after I lost my sight, those blueprints disappeared. I considered many possibilities, but never imagined they were taken by Wang Chuan. And now Liu Ryan had bought them back at a high price. Only then did I understand why my girlfriend of 3 years, after breaking up with me, immediately married Wang Chuan. From the start, she wasn't there for me. She stayed by my side for Wang Chuan, while he stole my designs. I also began to understand why Liu Ryan insisted on having my eyes blinded and said I was blocking Wang Chuan's path. So that's how it was. I laughed bitterly to myself. As I laughed, a tear fell from the corner of my eye. These truths, so clear before my eyes, came 5 years too late. I wasted the best 5 years of my life. I took photos of everything, then put them back exactly as they were. I picked up my phone and dialed a number I hadn't called in ages. Jong Kai, my eyes can see again. I want to return to the design world. Is it too late? An excited male voice came from the other end. Really, congrats, Xiaodong. Of course it's not too late. I've recently opened my own studio in Italy. I'm swamped. Come be my partner. I thanked Jong Kai gratefully. Then I booked a flight for 3 days later. 3 days to say goodbye to these 5 years. That was enough. I hung up the phone. I started packing my things methodically, looking at how little I had in the house. I couldn't help but give a bitter smile. I moved in alone back then, and now leaving I had almost nothing to take. These 5 years, it's like I was the only one stuck in place. I opened a drawer. Inside, neatly arranged, were the accessories Liu Ryan had given me. Almost every piece was my design, but I knew they were bought only because of Wang Chuan. Now relying on my old design drafts, Wang Chuan had become a famous jewelry designer, living a glamorous life, while I was trampled underfoot, living 5 years in darkness. I packed my luggage and set it aside. I turned and walked out of the villa, deciding to go see Wang Chuan. I took a taxi to his studio and walked straight in. At that moment, Wang Chuan was sitting at his desk, leisurely sipping whiskey, flipping through a fashion magazine. When he saw me, a flash of panic he couldn't hide crossed his eyes, but he quickly calmed down, putting on a fake smile. Xiaodong, why are you here? Where's Ryan? Didn't she come with you? I sat across from him, my eyes fixed on him. No, I came alone. He grew uneasy under my gaze, then frowned, down his whiskey in one gulp, and said unhappily, didn't Ryan tell you? If you're blind, don't wander around. Aren't you afraid of scaring people? I sneered, why don't you talk about who it was that blinded my eyes? Wang Chuan's hand shook violently, spilling whiskey on the magazine. Fear flashed in his eyes. What do you mean by that? I smiled at him. Wang Chuan, I know everything about what happened back then. I also know you stole my designs. You have 3 days to publicly apologize to me in the media. Otherwise, I can't guarantee what I have in my hands won't ruin your reputation. Wang Chuan's face turned ugly. His lips trembled slightly. His eyes filled with resentment and unwillingness. How do you know? Could it be your eyes can see again? I didn't say yes or no, but the smile on my face grew wider. Take a guess. Seeing Wang Chuan's panicked expression, I felt a surge of satisfaction. Then I ignored him, turned and walked out of the studio. I knew with Wang Chuan's personality, had never apologized to me, had definitely found other ways to make me disappear forever. But since I was leaving anyway, letting my departure be pinned on Wang Chuan, I wondered if my dear wife would still be satisfied. After leaving Wang Chuan's studio, I quietly waited for his reaction. Sure enough, within 2 days, I received a message from him, asking me to meet at an abandoned factory in the suburbs to talk about the apology. I looked at the message on my phone, a cold smile curling my lips. I knew this was likely a trap, but I decided to go anyway. After all, I wanted to give them one last surprise before I left. Before heading out, Liu Ryan specifically instructed the driver to take care of me, to personally ensure I reached my destination. Then she hugged me, playing the part of a good wife-husband. I have an important meeting today, and can't take you myself. Have fun with your brother. Call me if anything comes up. I smiled at her, indicating I was fine. The car started, and through the rearview mirror, I watched Liu Ryan's face gradually blur, silently bidding her a final farewell. When we reached the destination, I told the driver to wait nearby, saying I could go on my own. Half an hour later, a massive explosion rang out, echoing through the suburbs. Then the piercing sound of fire truck sirens approached, cutting through the chaotic air. The driver, frantic, hurriedly called Liu Ryan. Boss Liu, something happened to the young master in the suburbs. I don't know what happened, but there was an explosion here. It seems the young master was still inside. Liu Ryan, struck by the sudden news, roared on the spot. Didn't I tell you to stay with Xiaodong? How could this happen? Where's brother Zichuan? Did he go? The driver, panicked, replied. The young master told me to wait here for Master Zichuan, but I waited half an hour and didn't see him. Only the young master went in. Hanging up, Liu Ryan immediately drove over, running several red lights along the way. The abandoned factory was engulfed in thick smoke, flames soaring into the sky, the surroundings in chaos. Liu Ryan, arriving, shouted my name loudly in the crowd, her eyes frantically searching every corner, but she couldn't find me. An hour later, the fire was finally extinguished, but the site had turned to ruins, no longer resembling its original state. Liu Ryan suddenly thought of something, grabbing a firefighter. She asked urgently, when you were putting out the fire, did you see a man? Tall, about 183 meters. A blind man. The firefighter replied apologetically, sorry mum. The fire was too intense when we arrived. We couldn't go inside to search. If he was in there, I'm afraid his chances are slim, especially if he was blind. Hearing this, Liu Ryan's legs gave out, and she collapsed to the ground in a mess. It's my fault. I knew brother Zichuan never meant well toward him, yet I let him go to the meeting alone. Her fists pounded the ground, tears streaming down her face. Shock, pain, and regret flooded her like a tide, overwhelming her completely. Wang Chuan arrived late after hearing the news. Seeing Liu Ryan's distraught state, he stepped forward to comfort her. Ryan, don't be too sad. Maybe he's fine. Liu Ryan turned, her eyes locking onto Wang Chuan's. Filled with anger and despair, Wang Chuan, it was you who wanted to harm him, wasn't it? He already lost his eyes, and you took his designs. Why did you have to go so far as to kill him? Wang Chuan, frightened by her gaze, stumbled back. Ryan, listen to me. I didn't mean for this to happen. I just wanted to scare him, not actually kill him. Liu Ryan didn't want to hear his excuses. She stood up abruptly, slapping Wang Chuan across the face. Her voice trembled with rage. But you did kill him. Wang Chuan, he was my husband. How could you be so heartless? Liu Ryan's emotions were on the verge of collapse, her reason completely gone in that moment. Wang Chuan's eyes widened in fear, as if he couldn't believe Liu Ryan would hit him over me. He kept explaining, Ryan, I really didn't expect it to turn out like this. Liu Ryan looked at the man she had once deeply loved, now feeling he was utterly unfamiliar. If you don't want to go to jail, get lost. With that, Liu Ryan turned and walked into the ruins, searching for any trace of me. Seeing her like this, Wang Chuan could only leave unsteadily. Liu Ryan searched the factory ruins for a day and a night, but found no trace of my body. Her best friend Zhou Zhu got the news and rushed to the scene, taking the devastated Liu Ryan home. Seeing Liu Ryan's swollen eyes and the crusted blood on her fingers, Zhou Zhu's heart ached. She gently patted Liu Ryan's shoulder, trying to comfort her. Ryan, don't be too sad. Maybe brother Dong got lucky and just hasn't been found yet. Liu Ryan looked up, her eyes empty, her voice hoarse. No, Zhao, I'll never see him again. I ruined his life with my own hands, and now I've caused his death. It's all my fault. As she spoke, her tears flowed again. Zhou Zhu sighed. Ryan, I told you you love Wang Chendong. Otherwise, why would you be this heartbroken? What a pity fate plays such cruel tricks. Hearing this, Liu Ryan froze for a moment, as if only now she was truly seeing her own heart. The moments we shared together kept flashing through Liu Ryan's mind. She suddenly felt a sharp pain in her chest, as if something there had been forcibly ripped away, and she could no longer hold onto it. At that moment, I was already on a plane to Italy, on my way to meet my childhood friend Zhang Kai. The plane slowly landed in Italy. I took a deep breath, feeling the fresh air of a foreign land. Zhang Kai was already waiting at the airport. Seeing me, he threw his arms around my neck, excitedly saying, Xiaodong, you're finally here. I've missed you. Looking at his familiar warm smile, my eyes couldn't help but well up. 5 years can change a lot, but it couldn't fade the bond between us. In the days that followed, I poured all my energy into Zhang Kai's studio. During the day, I followed Zhang Kai to fashion exhibitions, learning and exchanging ideas with designers from around the world. Late at night, I picked up my pen, sketching the creative ideas that kept bursting in my mind. I kept drawing, like someone starved for a long time, desperately catching up on the 5 years I'd lost. My days here were busy and fulfilling, my heart filled with the joy of accomplishment. With my solid design foundation and the unique ideas born from years in darkness, in 3 years, I created many outstanding jewelry collections. Every time they hit the shelves, they sold out instantly. As my works continued to sell well in the market, I gradually gained some fame in the Italian fashion scene. Many brands approached me to discuss collaborations, the most notable being the century-old brand Boxy Jewelry. Their company's representative reached out to me, hoping I could design a jewelry series themed around Xiaoding as their flagship product for the next season, to be launched on the global market. After a month of meticulous design and revisions, I finally submitted the complete design drafts. In September of that year, the Xiaoding series held its launch event grandly on the stage of Milan Fashion Week. The venue was filled with socialites, top figures in the fashion world, and media reporters all gathered there. When the models walked the runway, wearing the jewelry I designed, the entire audience buzzed with excitement. Those sparkling jewels gleamed enchantingly under the lights. The unique designs and exquisite craftsmanship left everyone in awe. After the launch event, the media coverage was overwhelming. My name became a hot topic in the design world again, even trending online. As my international fame grew, domestic media also started frantically covering my story. When the news reached China, people soon discovered that many of Wang Chuan's early award-winning works bore striking similarities to my current designs. Netizens dug deeper and found out that Wang Chuan and I were both sons of the Wang family, one the real young master, the other a fake. And ever since I left the country, Wang Chuan hadn't produced a single new work. Public opinion turned sharply against him, with accusations of plagiarism flooding the internet. This Wang Chuan is disgusting. Stealing someone's parents for years is bad enough, but he even copied their work. Fake is fake. It can never become real. I can't believe I bought his jewelry before, only to find out he's a plagiarist. In no time, the Wang family's doorstep was practically trampled by the media. In front of the cameras, the Wang parents tried to stay calm, denying everything. But as more evidence surfaced, the truth could no longer be hidden. The design drafts I had suppressed were made public through Zhang Kai's efforts. My college classmates and professors also stepped forward to vouch for me. In an instant, Wang Chuan's reputation plummeted. His studio became deserted. Former partners terminated contracts, one after another. And under Wang Chuan's influence, the Wang family's stocks began to crash. Their businesses suffered significant blows. His wife, seeing the situation, quickly distanced herself from him, divorcing him at lightning speed. Fearing her family's stocks would be affected, Wang Chuan hid at home, watching the overwhelming online criticism, his mental state on the verge of collapse. Unable to accept that he, once the darling of the jewelry design world, had become a pariah everyone despised. He tried contacting Liu Ryan to help him fix things, but ever since the incident, Liu Ryan had blocked his number and withdrawn all investments from his jewelry studio. He could no longer reach her. As the controversy continued to heat up in China, Zhang Kai looked at the online buzz, smiling as he said to me, "It's time to go back. Let them see how dazzling you are now." I exchanged a smile with Zhang Kai, nodding in agreement. The news of my return to China had already spread, causing a huge stir. Reporters camped out at the airport early, eager to interview me the moment I arrived. As I walked out of the airport with my suitcase, flashes went off like a sea of light. "Mr. Wang, what are your plans for returning to China? What do you have to say about the claims that Wang Chuan plagiarized your work? Did your sudden departure years ago have anything to do with these events?" Facing the barrage of questions, I answered each one calmly and confidently. This time it returned, with new works and collaboration plans, hoping to bring fresh energy to the domestic fashion industry. Regarding Wang Chuan's plagiarism, I have sufficient evidence, and I trust the law will deliver a fair judgment. As for why I left the country, it was to pursue my dreams. Now I'm back, bringing my dreams with me. My answers were concise and powerful, quickly making headlines across major media outlets. When Liu Ryan saw my interview, her eyes lit up. She rushed to find me. Xiaodong, is it really you? Her voice was hoarse, carrying a mix of surprise and disbelief. The Liu Ryan standing before me now looked tired and haggard, no longer the vibrant and carefree person she once was. I looked at her, my heart undisturbed. I responded calmly, yes. It's me. Hearing my certain reply, Liu Ryan's eyes instantly reddened, as if tears would spill any second. She stepped forward excitedly, but stopped under my cold gaze. Cautiously, she asked Xiaodong, are your eyes okay? How have you been all these years? I gave a faint smile, my tone laced with sarcasm. Thanks to you, my eyes recovered 3 years ago. These years I've been doing well, far better than my days in Jiangshan. My words seemed to sting Liu Ryan, a flash of pain crossing her face. She lowered her head and said with difficulty, that's good. That's good seeing her like this. I had no interest in wasting words with her. I got straight to the point. Liu Ryan, if you're here just to catch up, you can leave now. My humble place can't accommodate a grand figure like you. I have things to do, so I'll close the door. Seeing this, Liu Ryan instinctively reached out to hold the door, her face full of urgency and pleading. Xiaodong, wait. I'm here to apologize to you. Xiaodong, I'm sorry. I know I let you down back then. I was a jerk. Blinded by obsession, I did so many things to hurt you. I didn't regret it until I lost you. Her voice trembled, as if she was desperately suppressing her surging emotions. Hearing her say this, my heart remained unmoved. I replied coldly, Liu Ryan, do you think these words still have meaning now? Back then you and the Wang family schemed against me, blinded me, and took everything from me. Did you ever consider how I felt? Hearing this, Liu Ryan's body trembled slightly. Xiaodong, I know I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. Back then I was blinded by my feelings for Wang Chuan and did so many things to hurt you. But now I regret it. Xiaodong, I love you. I really love you. It wasn't until you were gone that I realized how important you were to me. Listening to Liu Ryan's words, I found them utterly laughable. I couldn't help but mock. Liu Ryan, don't you think it's a bit late to say you love me now? I stepped closer, my eyes full of disdain. Back then for Wang Chuan, you didn't hesitate to ruin my life. Now with a flimsy I love you, you think you can erase the harm you caused? Do you think that's possible? Liu Ryan opened her mouth, but had no words to respond. After a long pause, she spoke hoarsely, her voice carrying a plea. Xiaodong, I know my sins are unforgivable. I don't expect you to forgive me right away. I only ask for a chance to make it up to you, to atone for my mistakes with the rest of my life. I rejected her without mercy. No need. Liu Ryan, I'm doing well now, with my own career and like-minded friends. That's enough. Your remorse has nothing to do with me, and your future has nothing to do with me. We're done for good. There's no possibility left. Don't come bothering me again, or I'll sue you for trespassing. With that, I ignored Liu Ryan's reaction, turned and closed the door, shutting out the sobbing Liu Ryan. After a long time, she left my doorstep utterly dejected. As news of my return spread, collaboration offers from several Chinese jewelry companies poured in. After careful selection, one chose a few promising and sincere companies to work with. At the signing ceremony, flashes went off continuously. Dressed in a well-tailored suit, I confidently shook hands with my partners, my face calm and composed. Meanwhile, the Wang family situation grew worse. The Wang parents were overwhelmed by Wang Chuan's issues, running around trying to salvage the situation. But it was all in vain. The Wang family's assets kept shrinking, their company riddled with internal conflicts. Shareholders demanded to pull out their investments, and the family business teetered on the brink of collapse. At this moment, they suddenly came to me. Wang's father and mother looked much older, their faces etched with exhaustion and weariness. Xiaodong, Wang's mother, spoke first, her voice choking with emotion. Zichuan has leukemia and urgently needs a blood transfusion. Before she could finish, I interrupted with a mocking tone. "Oh, you're not planning to ask me to donate blood for him, are you?" Hearing this, they hurriedly denied it, dropping to their knees before me, tears streaming down their faces. "No, Xiaodong, we were wrong. After the hospital tested Zichuan's blood type, we found out Zichuan isn't our biological son." I froze slightly, not understanding what they meant. "Didn't you already know that? When you came to me back then, didn't you have a DNA report?" Wang's mother wiped her tears, sobbing as she said, "Xiaodong, that's not true. Back then, to make you take the fall for Zichuan, we went along with his plan and put on an act. Zichuan said it was the only way. You'd willingly go to prison. We thought he was our real son, so we agreed to help him. For authenticity, we even got a DNA test done. But who knew Zichuan swapped the report? All these years we were kept in the dark by him. Xiaodong, we were wrong. We were truly wrong. You are our real son." Hearing their words, I felt like I'd been struck by lightning. Memories flashed through my mind, and I finally understood why my biological parents cherished Wang Chuan the most. All along they thought Wang Chuan was their true child. But even so, did that mean they could feel at ease letting me take the fall for him? Did they not care about the suffering and pain I endured? Looking at the two crying and kneeling before me, my heart was filled with indescribable emotions. The pain and grievances of the past surged back like a tide. What's the point of saying this now? Back then, for Wang Chuan, you sacrificed me without a second thought. Did you ever consider how I lived through those days when I couldn't see? A blind man in prison. How much scorn and bullying did I endure? Faced with my questions, Wang's father and mother had no words. After a long pause, they said in trembling voices, "Xiaodong, we're sorry." I closed my eyes wearily, taking a deep breath to calm myself. "Go back. The debt of raising me has been repaid. From now on, we owe each other nothing." The next time I heard about them, they had left with Wang Chuan. I couldn't help but feel a pang of emotion. As my collaboration projects progressed, my career in China flourished. The jewelry I designed created a huge impact in the domestic market, with sales soaring. This brought me both fame and fortune. In my free time, I traveled the world with Zhang Kai, living a carefree life. On one of those trips on a plane, I met the person I'd spend my life with. We hit it off instantly, and not long after we got married. After marriage, we had an adorable daughter named Zhao Ting, meaning hope. Liu Ryan, somehow hearing about my news, donated all her wealth to my daughter. She then became a volunteer teacher. Now, facing the pain I endured in the past, I could finally let go. At first, I didn't know how strong I was, nor when I'd ever heal. Now, I finally know how to stop the pain and understand that I will in time fully recover. The whole story ends